The mysterious case of the Marie Celeste of France refers to an eerie event that bears a striking resemblance to the infamous disappearance of the Marie Celeste, a British-American merchant ship found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in the 1872s with no crew on board. This French equivalent is the story of the Rosalie, a vessel shrouded in mystery. In the 1840s, off the coast of the French town of Cancale, the Rosalie was discovered by a passing ship, the Adele, floating aimlessly in calm waters. The sight that greeted the crew of the Adele was baffling and unsettling. The Rosalie was a small French ship primarily used for coastal trade. On board, there should have been a crew of at least 5 or 6 experienced sailors, including a captain and several deckhands. The ship was known to be seaworthy and in good condition. As the Adele approached the Rosalie, the crew expected to see the usual signs of life on board. However, they were met with an eerie silence. There was no signs of the Rosalie's crew on deck or below. Upon boarding the Rosalie, the crew of the Adele made a startling discovery. The Rosalie appeared to be perfectly seaworthy, with sails properly set and provisions in the galley. However, there was no trace of the crew. No one was in the cabins, on deck, or in the rigging. It was as if the crew had vanished into thin air. Adding to the mystery was the tranquil state of the sea. There had been no signs of a storm or rough water, which might have prompted the crew to abandon the ship. The weather was calm, and the Rosalie seemed to be drifting peacefully. The crew of the Adele carefully examined the Rosalie for clues. They found no signs of struggle or violence on board. The ship's logbook and navigation instruments were intact. Even the ship provisions appeared untouched. One perplexing detail further deepened the mystery. The Rosalie's longboat, which would typically be used for boarding or reaching shore, was missing. This raised questions about whether the crew had to abandon the ship voluntarily or against their will. The crew of the Adele searched waters in hope of finding any signs of the missing Rosalie crew, but to no avail. The fate of the sailors remains a mystery, and the case of the Rosalie eventually faded into a legend.